This video was sponsored by FlexiSpot. I recently bought myself a 3D scanner. And you might think to yourself, why would you need a 3D scanner? And I was having that same thought a little while ago, until I realized that these things are accurate up to 0.02 millimeters. That means that if you scan something and you measure it with a caliper, that measurement is going to be exactly the same as that 3D scanned object in your CAD software. So the scanner I was looking for was something that could scan smaller objects like PCBs and that kind of stuff, because those are the projects I'm usually really excited for, and those are the projects that it seems like you're also really excited for, so that's pretty cool. Eventually I landed on the CR Scan Raptor. I'm not saying that that's the best one. I'm pretty sure that there's a Kickstarter from VevoPoint, and they're making a 3D scanner which is very similar to this but with more lasers, and it appears to be a little bit better than this, but it's priced really decently when you buy it from the Kickstarter. So if you're interested in this kind of stuff, then definitely check those out. I'll leave some links in the description down below. And there was really two scenarios that could play out, like either it was going to be a paperweight within a week, which would be a pretty bad situation, spending that much money on it not working properly, or just not being able to use it for the projects, or it could completely change the direction or the way that we do the projects on the channel. And luckily it completely changed the way that we do the projects. So I wanted to create like a dedicated spot for this 3D scanner so that it's very easy to access and really easy to use, like really quickly. So I had this cart which is for the desk setup. It has two Windows rigs underneath there, and I thought because of the proximity to the computers, it would be a really decent spot to put the 3D scanning station there. It used to be the overhead rig, so it used to hold the camera and then you could see my hands doing stuff. But I arranged that in a different way now, so it doesn't need to be an overhead rig anymore. But we're setting it up in a very similar way. I recently also received some really awesome products from FlexiSpot actually, including this drawer, and they're sending over some legs, but they also sent over this chair, so we should probably do the sponsor integration. I thought I haven't 3D scanned it yet, I haven't attempted to 3D scan it yet, but I think it would be really funny to 3D scan it and then talk about it. So I actually attempted to scan the chair a couple of times with the near infrared sensors, but it didn't really work out. You can still tell that the chair is designed really ergonomically, and maybe you can even use this to, design your own ergonomic chair. But yeah, FlexiSpot offers a wide variety of ergonomic accessories. I'm personally a big fan of their sit-stand legs, and I've been using them for quite a long time, like way before they even reached out to sponsor a video. But in this video we're checking out their C7 chair. You can get it in a wide range of configurations, and there's actually a Black Friday sale going on right now. The one that I have here is the white and grey variant, and everything is completely meshed out. You can also get one that has like a cushiony base, so to say, so that wouldn't be mesh. But the mesh variant, I really prefer this, especially when you're in the summer and it's kind of hot. This really helps with ventilation and that kind of stuff. Now initially when I got the chair and I sat in it for the first day, I wasn't too big of a fan of it because it actually makes you sit in a very ergonomic way. And when you haven't been doing that for like years at this point, then you're not really used to it and it feels kind of strange. Yeah, the lumbar support really presses into your back and it makes you sit upright, which is pretty awesome. It also has a wide range of adjustability, so you can put it in a form of like 0G mode, I call it. And I often use that to like do some 3D modeling behind the desk. I have the iPad on the microphone arm, and then I'm lying down on this thing. So in that configuration, the headrest is also really comfortable and has a full range of adjustability depending on your height and that kind of stuff. So special thanks to FlexiSpot for sponsoring this video. Definitely check out that Black Friday sales that are going on right now. But yeah, they also sent over like the E7 legs, which haven't arrived yet, but they come with a lot of accessories like this drawer, and I wanted to integrate that drawer on this 3D scanning station because it's exactly the right size to hold that 3D scanner. Installed that underneath the desk and made the cable run outside of the back, so it's literally opening it up, grabbing the 3D scanner and getting started. So the entire design of this 3D scanning station is pretty much exactly the same as the overhead rig, except for the placement of the video light later on. But we're using these 80cm monitor arms connected to the scaffolding tube mount holders, and there's 4 of them, and then we have these column sections which go in between them, and then another column section which goes above everything. Onto that I've attached a video light. This is the Sokani X60. It's an older video light that I've had for a little while, 60 watts. But in that regard, if you use a normal light, like an office light, the CRI of those lights are a lot lower, and so the saturation is a lot less. You can't see all of the colors. So just to explain this a little bit better, you don't necessarily need a light on this thing for the 3D scanner to work. It works in complete darkness, to be honest, and it has its lights built in as well. So if you scan in color, it's going to be fine with the device itself. But it serves like two purposes really. It's so that I can see a little bit better, and also as a visual indication for when the device is on, right? So what I'm kind of afraid of is that I'm going to scan something and then go to the software on the computer side of things, forget to turn the scanner off. But at the moment the laser Susan is about 60 centimeters deep, and I'm thinking of reducing that a little bit to like 50 centimeters, and also adding a metallic surface. The reason I want to add a metallic surface is because we can use helping hands and position PCBs and that kind of stuff in a way where you can scan both the top and the bottom. And it does have like this combining feature in the software itself, where if you scan the bottom and then you turn the object around and you scan the top, it uses the point clouds to map them together and put them together, but it's not accurate for very small objects in my opinion. Yeah, I just need to correct myself there. When I was testing this out off camera, it wasn't working that well, but as soon as I started recording some B-roll for this video, it worked perfectly. Like, it just lined it up like absolutely beautifully here. So I don't know, maybe I misspoke, I don't know. And so yeah, I'd rather have it like be lifted off the ground a little bit more, so we can actually scan all the sides that we need to incorporate it into the CAD software and incorporate it into a 3D print with very high accuracy. So I'd like to run you through a couple of ideas with projects I've been busy with for a little while. So there's one project I'm designing a new mouse, a productivity mouse, and that one has been shelved for such a long time because it's quite difficult to do with a caliper, with all of the PCBs that are supposed to be implemented into that thing. But for that use case, it will be really nice because it was really difficult for me to imagine the trackball. And this was just, I scanned it and I just tested it out. It's going to save me a ton of time in that regard. Something else I'm really excited for as well though is, like, a little while ago we made sunglasses with variable ND filters in them. And those turned out pretty great, but they were totally symmetrical. Like, each side was exactly the same. The issue with that is that humans aren't symmetrical at all. That way, you know, I was forcing it on my face a little bit, like trying to make my face symmetrical, but not the object conforming to my face. But with this 3D scanner, you can actually just scan your face and make something that actually fits you well. And so that's a project I'm really excited to do, because I would love to make an iteration of these glasses, but then safety glasses that don't fog up. So maybe with like fans in them or something like that. And I think this 3D scanner is really going to help in that regard. Something else I've been really thinking about, which is more like a dream situation with this 3D scanner, is that we now have a lot of AI tools and a lot of AI things that are happening, which is really incredible. Like 2 years ago, I couldn't even imagine something like ChatGPT existing. But I think there's also some AI CAD drawing situations going on where they're designing parts for certain things. I can imagine like a future where you just 3D scan an object and you have like a text interface or something like that, and you say like, okay, I want a component that fits between these two parts, and then it just makes it. But yeah, I think you can kind of tell I'm really excited for this tech, and I'm really excited for this 3D scanning stuff. The next iteration of the 3D scanning station is probably coming out really soon. I wasn't expecting to iterate on it that fast, but it happened anyway. And I'm finishing up that thing today, and then I have to edit it still, but yeah.